Okay, the next person we're going to ask to speak is Lucy. She set up the group in Perth. She faced a fair bit of unpleasant commentary from a few people a few times. She braved it. So please, a huge round of applause and welcome for Lucy from Perth.
Hey guys, how you doing? You look amazing. I love your banners. Thank you so much for coming today. It means so much to everyone. It means so much to you to even be here today. You're so brave, thank you. So I just want to tell you who I am and why I'm involved in this grassroots movement. My name's Lucy and I've been involved with this grassroots movement for 6 weeks now. I've been meeting with a group of amazing, empowered and brave, strong women in Perth every Saturday. And we've been forming actually online for a few years now, and there's actually a few people that we've formed with online. And we get called by the mainstream media, we get called anti-vaxxers. We're actually ex-vaxxers, okay? We've suffered from vaccine injury, we did vaccinate. We're not anti-vaxxers, we're ex-vaxxers. So anyway, we've got a huge group of strong women in Perth who meet every Saturday. But on week 2 of our meetings, we had counter-protesters. We had single men turn up in tinfoil hats and abusing women. But then the beautiful thing that happened from that was local people from our community that we didn't even know started to defend us and stand up for us and support us for our freedom. And now we actually have a huge group in Perth of both men and women and children. So it's beautiful. So what else do I want to talk about? So yeah. All my people from Perth are here with us today, and we're all standing with you guys today, united and strong in Scotland. And it's time that our voices were heard. We will not be told what to think or what to feel. Sorry guys. We choose freedom of choice. Where there is a risk, there must always be a choice. You can choose to vaccinate, but you must not ever force us to vaccinate. Greed has poisoned man's soul, and we choose our children's health over big pharma greed. And why do we need a vaccine for this virus anyway, when it has a no higher death rate of 0.1 and a survival rate of 99.9%? And we know those who died. Yeah. And we know that those who died, many had other health conditions or were over the age of 80. And we also know the elderly were thrown out of the NHS hospitals and thrown into care homes where they died alone with no friends or family. And when we were not allowed to go to our family's funeral, what were the NHS nurses doing? TikTok. They were making TikTok videos out of sheer boredom, clearly. Not all of them, but some of them were. Yeah. So the NHS, it was built and designed to save us. We were never designed to save the NHS. And that is why mental health and suicide is skyrocketing in this country right now, ever since lockdown. And that is where the deaths are. Cancer alone, that was a few months ago and more to come. And what is with the social conditioning that's going on in our schools right now? Apparently this virus doesn't affect our children. So why all these mandates of masks and rules and 15 minutes and invisible lines of where they can stand and where they can't stand? It's social conditioning, plain and clear. And it will affect them into adulthood. But of course they want them to go back to school to get their flu vaccine. You know, the 4 live viruses. Yeah, and also, if you look on the cancer research website, it states there that anyone who has cancer or immunocompromised should never go near a child who has recently been vaccinated with the flu spray, as the shedding can kill them. The shedding can kill immunocompromised. So if you know anyone with cancer, you have to warn them of these things, because people are not warned of these things. And thank you. And mainstream media. Stop with the fear and the lies. It's the cortisol that is the killer, and you are killing people with your fake news. And just before I finish, guys, I want to thank you all for standing here with me today and letting your light shine bright. For those who can't see the way, they can't see the truth, we will guide the way to the truth. Let your light shine bright. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
She was so shy, was she not? Right. Please, when speakers are speaking, could we have some decorum? And just allow them... No, hang on a minute. We do not need anybody butting in when people are speaking. Sorry to be rude, but allow the speakers to speak. If you've anything to say to us individually, we'll speak to you later. Happy to give any interviews, or if you want to speak to our guest speakers, speak to them later after the event. Please let us get on with the event. Thank you very much. Right, our next speaker is someone who spent the entire, inverted commas, pandemic working in... Would you like up here to speak? Yes, I was. Please give us the opportunity, please, to get on with our event. Right, thank you very much. Okay. Right, our next speaker worked in a care home, has worked in a care home very closely with people for a long time now, and she is a psychologist and a very caring individual, and with her I did several videos that you can find on a YouTube channel under the name Patrick Hogg. There's someone here called that name. So the next person is someone, I believe, one of the most dedicated carers Scotland has ever had. She hails from Romania, and it's Simona Panatescu. Please give Simona a huge welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm not a carer, by the way. I was an activity coordinator. Can you hear me? Right. So I worked as an activity coordinator in a care home in Glasgow until 2 weeks ago, when I simply left. And my main reason for that was that I think people there suffered from huge neglect, which particularly manifested in my unit in the fact that they have been given huge amounts of sugary stuff. I know we are here in a country where sugar is, one of the most worshipped things, but sugar in reality is very, very bad for health. I know that most people are not informed even in this healthcare system. So I did my research and tried to inform my managers about this. So I presented them with 10 pages of information, including the amounts of sugar they were receiving, which would go to up from 3 to 5 times the amount that the government recommends, which is 30 grams per day. So you imagine you have elderly people with underlying conditions, many of them with dementia, who get this. Who get these huge amounts of sugar, and I've seen their decline in this period. It was obvious for me as I was working with them every day. So I put this report in 10 pages and attached science about what sugar does to the human body. The chronic inflammation and coronary disease, and even Alzheimer. It is known that Alzheimer is called type 3 diabetes. And I've been told that, plus I put another file with 13 studies concerning the relationship between coronavirus and sugar intake and diabetes and hyperglycemia, proving clearly that among the infected ones, at least 30% of them were suffering of diabetes and hyperglycemia, and also showing that, having diabetes or hyperglycemia increases the chances of death fourfold. And in this circumstance, you give them more sugar, you double the amount of sugar they receive. So no matter what I wrote there, for them it was of no concern. So I had the reply of the managers and of the clinical nurses that they're end of life anyway, and they really don't have concerns. And I should be focused on my job and not on this, because I'm interfering with their meals. But what I want to tell you is that, these people have really no rights anymore. They cannot be visited even now. They may receive one person from the family coming, and many times it's just window visits, If they are suffering physically, there's no real medical assistance giving to them. A doctor didn't visit our house, our home care, since March. Since March. So it's maybe 6 months now that these people have had no medical assistance. And I can tell you, if they shout for pain, the answer is you're seeking attention.
Yes, yes.
I think families should be aware of what is happening there, because there's too much trust in this system. And they really expect, their relatives, their fathers and mothers, to be taken care of there. And I don't want to say that there are not wonderful people working among the staff. I met one of the best people, working there. But it is the system, it is about the policies that are being given to them. And by the way, I can tell you, they all have these do not resuscitate it forms. And moreover, in April, there was another sheet that they received from the doctor, and it's called pro forma verification of death. And it's an instruction for the nurses, because of course the doctor's not going to visit the care home anymore, how to identify death, because these people's death is acknowledged as imminent and expected. You can look for the definition of imminent death. I think maybe 9 out of 10 are not in this situation, or they should die in a matter of hours or the next day maybe. So it is abuse. I know it is abuse happening everywhere. And it's not only them, it's us all who are not meant to receive the health care we deserve. And I think we people should try to take control over these systems, or try to take care of our vulnerable ones. I come from an ex-communist country. I have seen dictatorship in my country, and it wasn't as bad as they make it for you now. So I encourage everybody to think for themselves, and to think for the vulnerable, for the voiceless ones, and never, ever let anybody behind, because that's the way fascism appears. It starts with the most vulnerable ones, and then it pushes us to the limit where we understand somebody must be left behind. But if humanity is to endure this trial and survive, we have to keep empathy going. We have to care about the vulnerable. Bless you all.
Right, folks, we don't have enough bite to get the volume across. So give us 2 minutes, we're going to change PA. So just relax.